Call the regular scheduled meeting of the Kingston City Council to order. I'd like to ask everyone to please stand. Mr. Brown, will you lead us in the invocation? Mr. Roberts, will you lead us in the pledge of flag?
Pray with me, please. Our Heavenly Father, once again, we come to you with grateful hearts, thanking you for a beautiful day, thanking you for just being alive, thanking you for the opportunity to live in a country that we can come together and make decisions for the citizens of Kingston. We ask that you be with us, lead, guide, and direct us, but most of all, we give you all the praise, and we thank you most of all, too, for your Son, Jesus, who died and took the place of our sins. All these things we say in your name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May we see. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilmember Brown.
Present.
Councilmember Childs.
Present.
Councilmember Griffiths.
Present.
Vice Mayor Humphries.
Present.
Councilmember Stockton.
Present.
Councilmember Wright.
Present.
Mayor Nick.
Present. Now, can I get a motion to approve the previous minutes as written?
Make the motion.
Motion by Mr. Childs, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Stockton. Is there any corrections or deletions to the minutes? Madam Clerk, call the roll on the previous minutes.
Councilmember Brown.
Yes.
Councilmember Childs.
Yes.
Councilmember Griffiths.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Humphries.
Yes.
Councilmember Stockton.
Yes.
Councilmember Wright.
Yes.
Mayor Nick.
Aye.
7 ayes.
Are there any citizens that wish to appear before the council tonight? All right, seeing none, I've got proclamation for the Calvary Lady Crusaders. Figure this out. Without COVID. You got to come up front here. Speak in the microphone here. Whereas the participants, players, coaches, and staff of the Calvary Lady Crusaders basketball team demonstrated outstanding leadership, and whereas these youth brought honor to Calvary Baptist School and their leaders of the city of Kingston, and whereas the outstanding team finished with an overall record of 13-3 and a district record of 7-3 and won the state championships in the Tennessee Athletic Association of Christian Schools, and whereas the city of Kingston mayor and city council recognize and support the Lady Calvary Crusaders, team members who participated in these competitions. Whereas the members of the Lady Calvary Crusaders team brought honor to Kingston during these competitions by winning the state championship, they are hereby recognized by the City of Kingston officials. Now therefore, I, Timothy Neal, Mayor of the City of Kingston, do hereby proclaim Tuesday, April 13th as the Calvary Lady Crusaders Day in honor of the team, members, coaches, and the Calvary Baptist School.
Congratulations.
And I have one more proclamation to read. Today we pause to honor Hugh Johnson. Mr. Johnson couldn't be here with us tonight, so I'll just read his proclamation and then give it to him. Today we pause to honor Hugh Johnson for his lifelong contribution to his community. As an educator, coach, elected official, private citizen, and father, he is a living example of a servant leader for past and future generations. He is first and foremost a Yellow Jacket. His love of sports began early. He played on the 1956 undefeated Roane County High School football team. He coached middle school football from 1961 to 1979. He was an integral part in Kingston baseball as a Roane County High School baseball coach from 1984 to 1995, winning 220 games, numerous district and region championships. He coached in both Babe Ruth and Dixie youth baseball programs. He was a prominent of education. After graduating from Tennessee Technological University with a bachelor's degree in education and a master's degree in administration and supervision, he came back to Kingston and began his teaching career. He was a positive influence upon countless students from 1961 until his retirement in 2010. Johnson's involvement in the education of Roane County youth did not end with retirement. He was elected and served on the Roane County School Board for 12 years. He brought a wealth of practical experience to the board and was successful in helping to shape the course of public education in Roane County. However, while engaging in life of public service, Hugh Johnson did not ever neglect his family life. He met and married Peggy Sue Johnson over 57 years ago. They are proud parents of 3 children, 7 grandchildren, all of whom graduated from Roane County High School, and they had 1 great-grandchild. The influence of the Johnson family community is unparalleled and worthy of recognition. Now, therefore, I, Timothy Neal, Mayor of the City of Kingston, on behalf of the City Council and the citizens of Kingston, do hereby declare him to be a hometown hero and proclaim April 25th, 2021 as Hugh Johnson Day. And we did it on his April 25th is Hugh Melvin's 81st birthday. So we want to get that to him. All right, we'll go into reports. I'll start with Ms. Humphries. Ms. Humphries, do you have anything to report?
No, just that the contributions are ongoing for the 4th, and I'd like to say a special thank you to Mr. Hugh Willett in the Roane County News for offering to put an ad in the Roane County News for us, thanking the sponsors that we've had thus far. Other than that, we're in talks about what's going to go on here in the next few months dealing with COVID, but as far as we know right now, the 4th will be the first event.
Mr. Jones.
All I have is the RU report and city manager, if anyone has input.
Ms. Doctor.
I don't know if you noticed a few more hometown hero banners go up today. There is 22 that are going up today. I think there was more brackets that Tim Clark had to order. And then besides that, there's another shipment of 20 that's coming in after that. So there's several more that have sent in the information where they're ordering banners, but the company is behind, and so I'm not sure if those banners will be in before Memorial Day, but they will go up and stay up through Veterans Day. So I think they look amazing, and it seems like everyone enjoys them.
Mr. Brown.
The 911 monthly report is in your packet. The other committee that y'all put me on is the solid waste. And it meets one time a year, and it meets the 22nd, so you'll be getting a thing on that. Also, I need to report that Kingston was in line to host a 18-team 7- and 8-year-old state tournament for Dixie youth baseball. They bid on that 2 years ago and received it for last year. And of course, we didn't play any ball last year. They have met, and because of the lighting situation at Southwest Point where they were going to play, that tournament has been moved. So Kingston will not get the tournament just because of field conditions. Those little kids play from early morning to last games are usually about 9 or 9:30. So we just couldn't chance it as a board to let them go out there and play on a field that wasn't adequately lit. So it's still coming to Roane County. It's coming to Harriman. Hate to lose it to Harriman. So that's all I've got.
Ms. Rapp, you have anything to report?
I
just the library is still checking into a new light, LED lights and windows.
I have nothing to report. I think that we have talked about already. I'll turn it over to the city manager for his report.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few things here in addition to my written report. For the first time in the almost 8 years that I've been here, and who knows how long before that, our bond committee met. That was a first. We kind of had to acclimate ourselves to the process, but Planning Commission Secretary Bo Pickle, Tim Clark, Kevin Hamilton, and I met with the developer who's doing the new houses in Center Farm. And we had a meeting, had some questions, so we had a follow-up, got all those addressed, got the bond in the form that we were happy with. We signed off on those, or signed off on that, and so that's good. So that would cover the road cut, the stormwater, the water sewer relocate for that project, and they are very anxious to get going on that. So should see a lot in the next several months. Should see a lot of progress going on with that project. So that's exciting for the city and for our tax base. As you guys have no doubt seen in my email, frustrating news with the bank that we just less than a year ago sent our business to is closing, and we got that notification over yesterday, and definitely something that we're not happy about. I don't fault the local staff, but I think at the corporate level they let us down, because having been in that line of work, I know that somebody knew that was going to happen, and so definitely not news we want. As I've communicated to you, I feel like, just my opinion, but I feel like we have an obligation to do business with somebody who's willing to make an investment in our community. So my recommendation, unless you all object, would be to reopen, send the RFP back out, see if we can get some new solicitations and cross that bridge. This bank will be open until July, and then they're gone. So I think we need to do something, and we will we'll send the RFP out, see what we get, and we'll take it from there. But definitely think it's at least worthy of seeing what else is out there, who else might locally might appreciate our business. So coming up probably next month, next month's workshop, I hope to have this on the agenda. I get asked from time to time about the resurfacing project in Ladd Landing. Getting a little closer on that. I've been talking to TDOT about the issue with the contract, the engineer. Obviously not a lot of engineering going into a resurfacing project, but we have to have it nonetheless. We really have two options. We can bid it out, which, for a project like this, you got to go through all the hoops, and or another option will be that TDOT has a series of pre-selected, pre-screened companies that we can use if we so choose and circumvent the bid process. So I'll be coming to you with information on that next month, but just wanted to throw that out there that at least that's finally starting to move a little bit. As part of our participation in the Tennessee River Line, I'm happy to report we're about to be custodians of 12 new kayaks and a trailer. The county is actually going to be the recipient of the funding, and then they're going to essentially surplus those to us. So we'll be the custodians of them. We'll have them here in Kingston for us to use for various events, and then if the other communities within the Tennessee River Line have an event, they can borrow them, but that'll be coming to us at no charge. So excited to be added to our fleet, hopefully get some more people out in the water. The only other thing I want to report, our property tax collections are still coming in. They're still doing great. We're $1,999,000, so we're very close to topping $2 million, which, as far back as I can tell, will be the first time we've ever topped $2 million for current year only. It's not uncommon for us to top it with all of our collections for various years, but as far as I know, it's the first time we've topped $2 million in current year collections, and that's right now about $23,000 over what we projected for the year. So good revenue news there, especially considering the year we just came out of. And that's all I have. Unless y'all have any questions.
Are there any questions for the city manager? Seeing none, item 7 is addition of items to the meeting agenda received after closing the agenda deadline. I have not received any. There is no unfinished business. We're going to number 9, new business. A is the consideration to authorize the purchase of a vehicle for the city manager.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we authorize the city manager to purchase a vehicle not to exceed $33,500 from state vehicles.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Brown, second by Mr. Wright. Mr. Brown?
Again, it's in his contract, we talked about this at the work session, that we are to provide him with a vehicle. The vehicle that we provided him went down, and he's been borrowing vehicles from each department. It's just time for us to do it. They've got it in stock, and if we authorize this, I hope he goes and gets it tomorrow.
Ms. Brown, you need that?
That's down, Councilman Brown covered it well.
Council? Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Childs?
Yes.
Councilmember Griffiths?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Humphries?
Yes.
Councilmember Stockton?
Yes.
Councilmember Wright?
Yes.
Mayor Dale?
Aye.
7.
Item B is consideration to allocate funding for the purchase of new Christmas lights for Kentucky Street.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that council allocate up to $50,000 from the 300 capital fund for the purchase of new lights for Kentucky Street with specific details and pricing to be approved by council next month prior to ordering, per our discussion at the workshop.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Anything else you need to discuss?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, the question came up last week about the shipping. The shipping would be included if we go with the vendor that we've used in the past. There is no shipping charge for that. And he is going to be sending out some samples to be looked at and some different things. And then there are some other places that we're going to talk to too. But it will be nailed down in pricing before we order. And also, just to reiterate, that money is from CARES Act and stuff. That's not anything from tax money or.
Mr. Griffiths, do you have anything? Council? Mr. Brown?
Just wondering, why do we need to bring it back to the council? Why don't the city manager, we authorize him to spend it, just let him go ahead and get it? I don't know why we look at it again.
That suits me. I can amend my motion.
We leave it to the city manager, and I guess Tim that knows what we got, and go through it. I just don't understand why we have to come back and vote on stuff again, when that's his responsibility.
As long as you're approving the amount, I mean, obviously that amount exceeds my purchase authority, so.
That will take care of that.
We're fine with that. We're gonna look, we're still looking to see if there's a bid, if there's a bid somewhere we could piggyback off of. If not, we'll have to look at, when we start looking at cost and see, worst case scenario, it's something we may have to bid out. I don't know, but we'll cross that bridge when we figure out what you all wanna spend, and we'll do whatever you want us to do.
And also, one more thing, we did check, the last time lots were purchased, the whole amount, like 50 lots, was in 2011. They were $17,000, and they weren't all the LED type lights. They were part the old-timey Garland lights. So if they were all ordered back then, it would have exceeded $17,000. So.
Madam Clerk, what was her exact motion? And see if we need to amend it to allow the city manager. We just need to allocate $50,000 for Christmas lights to the city manager. Is that?
300 capital fund.
Will you call the roll, please?
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Childs?
Yes.
Councilmember Griffiths?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Humphries?
Yes.
Councilmember Stockton?
Yes.
Councilmember Wright?
No.
Mayor Dale? 6 ayes, 1 nay.
Item C is consideration of applications to fill a vacancy on the library board with an unexpired term ending December 21st, 2021.
Mr. Mayor, I nominate Chris Deathridge.
The nomination of Chris Deathridge. Is there anyone else to bring before the board tonight?
Well, I will mention that the board at the meeting voted for James Watson. Council will know.
I'll make the motion for James. Our nomination for James.
Is there anyone else?
Yeah, there's a third person, Kelly Smith, in her packet.
Kelly Smith is also.
Kelly Smith.
Are there any more nominations?
I'll make a motion for Kelly Smith.
We'll put all three on the floor. So, Madam Clerk, can you call the roll? The council will answer which person to appoint to the library board.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Childs?
Smith.
Councilmember Griffiths?
Smith.
Vice Mayor Humphries?
Smith.
Councilmember Stockton?
Smith.
Councilmember Wright?
Watson.
Mayor Nick?
Smith.
5 votes for Smith, 1 for Watson, and 1 for Redmond.
And that vacancy will be coming back up at the end of December. Item D is considerations for applications to fill 5 vacancies on the beautification committee with a 4-year term ending April 30th, 2025.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the 5 that had submitted letters in time. And it's Linda Johnson, Judy Yeager, Teresa Kirkham, Sue Collins, and Cole Silvers.
Second motion.
Are there any more nominations for the beautification committee? Madam Clerk, call the roll on the 5 names that Ms. Stockton put on the floor.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Childs?
Yes.
Councilmember Griffiths?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Humphries?
Yes.
Councilmember Stockton?
Yes.
Councilmember Wright?
Yes.
Mayor Nick?
Aye.
7 ayes.
Item E is consideration to authorize the city manager to apply for the Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development Infrastructure Planning Grant with a local match not to exceed $2,500.
Make a motion.
Is there a second? Motion by Ms. Stockton, second by Mr. Childs. Ms. Stockton, do you have anything to add? Mr. Childs? Council?
If I could just point out, you may be curious, some of you may be curious why this is on the council agenda, not the water board, since technically it's going to that. For whatever reason, that's how the state wanted it approved. So that's why we put that on the city council agendas, approved by council.
Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Childs?
Yes.
Councilmember Griffiths?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Humphries?
Yes.
Councilmember Stockton?
Yes.
Councilmember Wright?
Yes.
Mayor Nick?
Aye.
7 ayes.
Item F is consideration of the first reading of ordinance 2104-13-01, an ordinance amending the zoning map of the city of Kingston, Tennessee by rezoning property located at 112 Circle Drive, 1110 Circle Drive, and 1106 Severe Ferry Road, as shown on tax map 047P, Group A, parcels 27.0, 28.0, 29.0, together with adjacent roadways of all from C2 highway business to R1 residential district. Do we hear a motion to consider this on first reading?
I'll make a motion.
A second.
Motion by Ms. Wright, second by Ms. Stockton. Ms. Wright?
Nothing, sir.
Ms. Stockton? Council? Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll in consideration on first reading, please?
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Childs?
Yes.
Councilmember Griffiths?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Humphries?
Yes.
Councilmember Stockton?
Yes.
Councilmember Wright?
Yes.
Mayor Nick?
Aye.
7 ayes.
Speaking of that, Mr. Bowling, in our BZA meeting we had last Wednesday night, there might be several more residential in C2 district along Highway 7 and stuff. can you reach out to Mr. Williams and see who else? I know on the other side of the road between the community center and one bank, those are probably C2 because that one of the guys there was here in front of the BZA. So we probably need to see who else we've got zoned commercial living in our house.
But Mayor, that whole corridor is commercial.
Because I'm sure when they
Because
come
it
to Highway 70,
Well, and that's the way it should be. It's a main corridor. The reason why these were considered is because they weren't on 7.
Mr. Mayor, if you will allow me, one of the things that we've considered for the last little while is that you do have some areas of town and some cities and are now considering expanding the use for your commercial districts to allow for residential, because that's that mixed use, and that might be something you need to consider. And it would be a simpler change to change those to change the zoning ordinance to allow residential in it, like for a mix, and that makes it mixed use. And you maybe want to consider that instead.
That's something we can look at as a planning commission, figure that out. Item G is consideration of first reading of ordinance 2104-1302, an ordinance to adapt a fat oil grease bog reduction and removal policy for the water department. We discussed this Tuesday night in length. Do you hear a motion to consider this on first reading?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion by Ms. Humphries, second by Mr. Griffiths. Ms. Humphries. Council, any discussion? None, vote by roll, please.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Childs?
Yes.
Councilmember Griffiths?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Humphries?
Yes.
Councilmember Stockton?
Yes.
Councilmember Wright?
No.
Mayor Dan?
Aye.
6 ayes.
That is the end of the agenda for the city council meeting. This meeting is adjourned.
Mayor, if I could, before we go into beer, I have a couple things I forgot. Just, we don't have to be in session. First of all, I just want to say thank you for the vehicle. It's certainly something that I'm a little self-conscious of something being done for me, but it is appreciated, so thank you very much. Two things. One, for those of you that are on the ad hoc committee for the community center, to look at the community center, I talked to the mayor before the meeting. We'll be reaching out to set up a first meeting for that. So we'll be coming. And then also wanted to get your thoughts about the budget workshop, our first budget workshop, since we're all going to be here. See what you thought about doing that at the conclusion of our May council workshop. Doing it that evening.
May.
Yeah, our May workshop, which is May the 4th.
Yeah.
It won't work. My schedule, I think the start is
Yeah.
If that won't work, we can reach out and try to schedule. I just
No,
want
May.
to throw something out there while we
You
I won't be attending
you miss the regular meeting anyway, wouldn't you?
That's not cool.
Okay, we'll send out emails and see if we can get something where everybody can meet. We'll figure it out.
Okay. And that's all I have. Sorry about that.
Okay. All right, now we'll go into the regular meeting of the Kingston Beer Board. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Member Brown?
Present.
Member Childs?
Present.
Member Griffiths?
President.
Vice Chair Humphries?
Present.
Member Stockton?
Present.
Member Wright?
Present.
Chairman Dan?
Present. To hear a motion to approve the previous minutes,
I make the motion.
Second.
motion by Ms. Ryan, second by Ms. Stockton. The previous minutes, Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Member Brown?
Yes.
Member Childs?
Yes.
Member Griffiths?
Yes.
Vice Chair Humphries?
Yes.
Member Stockton?
Yes.
Member Wright?
Yes.
Chairman Dan?
Aye. With no new business, then this beer board meeting is adjourned. Now we'll go right into the Kingston Beer Board meeting. And clerk call Robert Floyd.
Member Brown?
Present.
Member Childs?
Present.
Griffiths?
President.
Vice Chair Humphries?
Present.
Member Stockton?
Present.
Member Wright?
Present.
Chairman Dan?
Present. To hear a motion to approve the previous minutes,
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
motion by Mr. Griffith, second by Ms. Wright. Is there any corrections or deletions to the minutes? See Board, you see members, any corrections?
Member Brown?
Yes.
Member Childs?
Yes.
Member Griffiths?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Priest?
Yes.
Member Stockton?
Yes.
Member Wright?
Yes.
Chairman Neal?
Aye.
Do we have any citizens that wish to address the water board tonight? Seeing them, we'll go right to the utility director's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a few things here in addition to my written report. First of all, thank you all for approving in the council meeting the match and authorization for us to apply for the grant. We're already working on that application. We had a meeting today just to have some general discussion before the vote, so we'll be moving on that. We think we'll have a strong application, and you know, there's normally in something like water and sewer, $50,000 isn't a lot of money, but for something like this, in terms of mapping, that's going to make a huge difference. So we hope to get a lot of bang for that buck, and obviously hope to get approved. So we'll have more on that hopefully soon. Also, if you remember, probably a couple months ago, I reached out to you all about an issue with the sewer tap involving the new businesses that are going in on Kentucky Street. At that development, had some issue, had a request for a new sewer tap, didn't feel like that we could justify approving that. We found out through some excavation work that there is a tap already in place, so the property owner is going to be able to take advantage of that at no cost to him or us. It's already there, so they'll just have to tie into it. So good resolution on that. And also just wanted to report that we now have, thanks to your approval, we now have our first outside the city residential sewer customer. So he signed on, paid, got hooked up. So
Might add, he was happy. He had told me.
that's good. That's good. So step in the right direction on that. Just wanted to report that to you, and that's all I have unless you have any questions.
Are there any questions for the utility director? Seeing none, there is no new business. Is there anything else to come before the water board tonight?
I understand there's some more in that area out there that I don't know if they contacted you yet, that are going to be interested in doing that also.
We think now that we had one, there'll be others jumping on it, so it'll be a good thing.
If there's nothing else, this meeting's adjourned.